welcome to RBA News Center. I am your host, Tampa RBA. Today we are going to get some scores across the Alliance. First up, we have New Jersey beating Jacksonville 64-6, and then following that up with a win against the Los Angeles Rams 54-6. Next up, we have the Booners beating Miami 44-3 and Indianapolis 62-0. We have following up with the Punters, Arizona 54-17 versus Detroit 62-0. That's definitely going to help them. And then versus Dallas 38-11. Next up we have Yaks for Life beating Philadelphia 48-7, beating Dallas 32-14, and winning against Seattle 40-18. Next up we have the Marching Ents beating Gibbons 54-10, killing the Sockeyes 64-6, and demolishing SPQR 54-0. Brilliant scores for the Ents. Next up we have the Petschago Fire beating New England 40-10 and beating Baltimore 54-10. Great defense. We have the Chicago Rams beating New England 62-13, beating Jacksonville 56-6, and killing Miami 64-6. Next up we have the Jacksonville Dobermans beating Cincinnati 30-3, beating Denver 20-10, and getting a crushing score to Cleveland 40-0. Next up we have the Gaming Gamers beating Pittsburgh 44-3 for a PD of 41, and beating Green Bay 38-29. Next up we have the Newark Cherry Blossoms beating Providence 40-3, beating Orlando 25-6. Next up we have the Chicago Rams beating the New York Giants 70-12, beating Washington 48-3, and beating Oakland 54-13. That 70-12 win is going to help them a lot in the Premier League. Next up we have Winter Storm beating LSU 54-38, beating Utah 46-21, and beating Miami 37-13. Next we have Dynamite beating Minnesota 62-13, beating Green Bay 46-17, and demolishing Dallas 62-3. Next up we have Tampa beating Tampa Bay in their Tampa Derby 30-10, and then crushing Carolina 46-3. Next up we have Flying Illini beating the Jets 46-0 in a blowout. Then they beat the Lions 38-12. Next up we have the Bull Sharks beating Minnesota, Detroit, and New England. The score against Minnesota 48-7. Then Detroit 72-8. That's a killing score, and then they follow up by blowing out New England 56-0. We have Yaks for Life beating Minnesota 32-15, beating New Orleans 32-29, and then crushing New York 43-6. Next up we have the Miami Cowboys beating Green Bay 38-20 and putting out a show against Indianapolis 46-0. Finally we have the Royals beating Green Bay and Atlanta 30-3 and 32-0, and having a crushing defeat versus New Orleans 26-24. That's all today, folks. Thank you for watching. See you next time. This is Tampa RBA, host of RBA News Center.